What is up, everybody? We are back. It is Friday night. Oh, Walter just hit the inside of the post. Sorry, Paddy. Just inside of the post from distance there. I have it on in the background. Yeah, hello, everybody. No plugs to do. Nobody to try and flog stuff with. But Mr. Paddy Murphy, I hope you're well, sir. You're looking well, and thank you for this morning. I mean, you're a better man than me, buddy, getting up at that time for the draw, but you worked wonders.
I mean, yeah, I'd be lying if I said I was fresh, but, you know, we me and the gang, you know, held the fort down, and Liverpool got a favourable result, which always helps proceedings.
It was a pretty good draw, wasn't it? Like, if we could pick out a draw, that's as close to be. Look, Bayern semi potentially always going to be difficult, mate. No doubts about it. But I'm happy to be kept aside from the two English teams and Real Madrid because I want them in the final. I want Real Madrid in the final.
I think the only way it could have been bettered is if it was Atletico Madrid versus Bayern. Because I feel like we'd beat... Sorry, no, not versus Bayern, versus Villarreal. That would have been lovely. But listen, it was almost perfect. Again, I've always said... There's an echo. Okay. I've always said I'll back Liverpool to beat anyone over two legs. So, yeah, I think we'll be fine. Couldn't have been much better.
Yeah, my echo cancellation's on.
Same. No, there's not. Okay, go on.
Okay, yeah. People are people are obsessed. The other night, I don't know what happened, by the way. I was speaking the other night, and another, in OBS, another microphone just appeared in OBS. So I had two microphones out of nowhere halfway through the stream. It's madness. But look, I mean, what's your take on the draw as a whole, Paddy? We'll go through it game by game. Obviously, we'll start off with Atletico against Manchester City, second leg at the Metropolitano. What's your thoughts on that one?
It's an interesting one. I do expect City to beat them, but I feel like they'll pose a different test to City for sure. I don't see City smashing them by any stretch. And I would love to see Atletico win, to be honest, for one of the few times I'd go for them. But I reckon City will have enough of them and in that game.
Yeah, I agree. But if, let's say, City only beat them by one at the Etihad and go back to Spain, it won't be a walk in the park. I mean, it will be shithousery par excellence again from Atleti. But yeah, you would think over the course of two legs, City will create enough opportunities. They probably... I mean, we dealt with Atletico home and away. I would expect City to as well. Chelsea, Real, that's another coin flip, mate. That's another 50-50 tie for me.
It's an intriguing one. Obviously, as it stands, Chelsea have to play their game behind closed doors, which I feel is unfair. I feel like they should have as in I feel like it's unfair in Madrid. I feel like Madrid have done nothing. Their fans should be allowed to go. They should be allowed to have an away allocation, I do believe. I don't know if that is the case or what is the case, but Chelsea, Real, I was buzzing to avoid all four of those teams, to be honest. And to get Benfica, listen, people say don't underestimate Benfica. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Liverpool are going to beat Benfica. I'm none of this like jinx and nonsense. We're going to beat Benfica, and if we don't deserve to win anything. We will beat Benfica. We are in the semi-finals, and let's hope Villarreal can do us a favour and we play them and get into the final. The map to the quad, by the way, I know we're going to get onto it, but my God, it's starting to become ever clearer in my mind, Senor Craig.
I won't lie, Paddy. I'm starting to peruse the fare prices on the Paddy Murphy Quadruple Express, and I'm looking at them and I'm thinking I might just get me one of them tickets. It's getting exciting, isn't it? I mean, that draw, it's as close to perfection as we could have hoped for, and I agree. People will say you've got to be respectful to Benfica, 12 points behind, I think, Porto in the Portuguese Primeira Division. We should be beating them home and away, Paddy. I don't care. I mean, like you, we'll be respectful. They did a good job to beat Ajax and Amsterdam, yada, 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 as you said. We should be looking to beat Benfica fairly handily over two legs.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. They have a couple of nice players. Darwin Núñez, fantastic up-and-coming footballer. But at the end of the day, they're third in the Premier Division in Portugal, and the people leading the league in Porto, I believe, we dismantled relatively easy. I love Portuguese opposition. I always feel like it's a pretty standard routine stuff. And then, listen, if in some obscure reality Benfica do knock us out, it'd be one of the biggest upsets in Champions League history. So it would be against the grain. So I am not worried in the slightest. I'm looking at prices to France, to Paris already. I think Anfield agenda go to Paris. What are we saying?
Oh, do you know what? I was saying to Connor, I want us to do that little trip to Spain, as I was saying to you, little end of season. Well, I can't say what we'll be celebrating yet, but you know, we've got something in the works that we're hoping to get over to Spain. But I was saying to Connor, well, you know, little flight to Paris, you know, a little few days in Paris, then drive down to Spain. Anything's possible at this point, Paddy. And if you're going to look at a Champions League final, Paris is about as handy as it'll get for us, bar outside maybe the UK. Paris is pretty handy, but there is a lot to get through, and I might be taking Benfica for granted, but I tell you what, I am not taking the winner of Villarreal Bayern for granted, because look, you'd make Bayern huge favourites in that, but Unai Emery deserves credit for what he's done with this Villarreal team, and I think that they will certainly test Bayern's resolve, but ultimately I do see it being a Liverpool Bayern semi-final. Second leg of that one would be at the Allianz. Would that worry you at all?
Listen, Bayern are a fantastic outfit. Do I think they're as good as they were in the year they won it in 2020? No. You know, we've taken one of their better players from that squad. Now we have him. Bayern are going to be a difficult team to maneuver, but I think we'll have enough to beat them. They haven't really, you know, been too unreal under Nagelsmann as of yet. He's been trialing different kinds of formations and stuff like this, but I feel like we'll have too much for Bayern. Allianz or not in the second leg, I feel like we should have enough to get the job done in Anfield. And as I've always said, I'd back Liverpool to beat anyone in the world over 2 legs. While Bayern are one of the tougher teams left, I think we'll have enough to beat them.
I mean, yeah, look at that Bayern. You could say both amazing attacks, both sets of squads. But I think where we'd have the edge, Paddy, would certainly be defensively. I would back us. I mean, I agree with what you've said previously about us having got the better of the 2 Leipzig centre-backs between Dayot Upamecano and Ibrahim Konate. I'm absolutely convinced we got the better one. And I think our defenders will be the difference when we play Bayern Munich. If we play Bayern Munich, I should say, in the semi-final. So what do you think of the other side of the draw? Who makes it to Paris? Who plays? And look, I think it's 50-50 maybe Bayern Liverpool. So who plays the winner of that tie for you in the final?
I think on one side of the draw, we're going to see Man City versus Real Madrid. And then on the other side, Liverpool Bayern. And then in my opinion, it'll be a Liverpool and Man City final. I think Real Madrid are going to have too much for Chelsea. And I think a lot will go down to the fact that Chelsea can't have fans in. That's going to be a big thing to negotiate. I feel like Real Madrid are just naturally going to have a bit of advantage there. And of course, I think Man City will again have too much for either of those sides. And Liverpool City in the final fills me with dread. It does. But
I tell you what, Paddy, I've got a feeling Real Madrid might throw a spanner in the works on that side of the draw for Manchester City. I do. I'm looking at the draw. I think, if my memory is correct on this one, I think the semi-final draw sees City away for the second leg, but somebody might be able to confirm that for me. First leg for us, 5th of April. Second leg, 13th of April against Benfica anyway. So, you know, looking forward to it. The extortionate ticket prices are already on sale. I got my Marathon Sports email in, asking me if I got my remortgage ready if I wanted a ticket, because fuck off. Honestly, mate, it's getting disgusting.
What were you quoted with?
I didn't even open it. I didn't even open it, Paddy. I didn't even look at the email. I just seen it.
I've seen 575.
Go look. I look at my delete.
57.
You know,
575 in the company that I usually use. But to be honest, they're not even good seats. I mean, every seat in Anfield is a good seat, but if you're paying close to €600, you'd want to be on Jurgen Klopp's penis. Huh?
2-0 to Wolves.
Leeds are going down.
Yeah,
listen, I just think the draw could have been much better, to be honest with you. And just this season is mapping itself out absolutely tantalizingly, isn't it?
It is. It absolutely is. I'm afraid though, Paddy, I don't want to get too carried away. Because I'm old enough and ugly enough to have seen this happen before. You know, every year we had to listen to the Manchester City quad or treble nonsense before it fell apart. So I don't want to put us in. Oh, here we go. Here's the packages now. Right. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Ticket and one-night hotel. What are you thinking? Now, no travel, just one hotel, half a room basically, and a match ticket.
$650.
6. Overnight by coach and ferry. So no hotel. You know that horrible, god-awful trip? 700 quid for a day trip. 700 quid.
It's just obscene, isn't it? And but the problem is though, the problem is that they can get away with it because guys like us who don't, or not just us, but people who don't have those connections are somehow forced to actually pay these fees if they want to see their beloved team play.
I went through years of that, mate. I went through years paying, not quite that high because they've really started to take the piss in recent years, but the amount of times I've had to pay 500 quid for a big day trip, something like that. And it's a horrible day, by the way. It's a horrible day. You're starting out in your house in Wexford for me at about 3:30 a.m. and you're getting back at about 7 a.m. the following day, and you've got nowhere to rest. You're dumped into the city centre. You're in Wetherspoons at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. It's just horrendous, like.
Yeah, you gotta fly, man. That ferry job is not good. By the way, this jersey's AZ Alkmaar, Hannah. AZ Alkmaar.
There we go. I mean, you've got a great collection of jerseys. I'll give you that one. I mean, I do like a jersey myself. So, also today we found out no Trent on Sunday for the FA Cup game. Connor's really, really lax about this. He's thinking we're just going to steamroller Forest. I don't. I'm not concerned, but I certainly want to give them respect.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't be going I wouldn't be going overly second string. I want to safeguard it. I want to safeguard this passage to the semis. It's another trip to Wembley, and again, hopefully draw willing. Yeah, I want to treat them with respect as well. They're an historical club in general. Yeah, I'm not too worried about Trent because I feel like if there was ever a good time to be injured, it's now because we have this game and then international break. I feel like it'll give him ample enough time to come back. But the start 11 will be intriguing. I don't want to go too easy on it because I do want to win badly.
I'm actually recording my predictions after this, so give us a bash of the starting 11 there for yourself, and Mo probably out as well by the looks of it with that foot injury.
In goal, we're going with obviously Big Ali. Right back, Joe Gomez. Centre backs, Konate and Verge. Left back, Costas. A midfield three of Hendo, Elliott, and Milner. A front three of Taki, Jota, and Mane.
I think mine's about 4 players different to yours. I think.
Okay.
There's no way in God's green earth I'd ever bring myself to be able to put Milner and Henderson in midfield. I couldn't do it. I couldn't predict it. I just, no. I don't want to sit through that.
No. By the way, Mick, when I said I want Liverpool to win badly, I mean I want them to win so badly, not the performance to be bad. But it's an intriguing one. There's a lot of selection there. It depends. Like, I think Klopp's going to go pretty strong because they're a decent side, and again, it's not just the FA Cup; it's the whole quad, it's the whole feel-good vibe. You win this, you're back at Wembley, everything's coming up Millhouse, so it's important to play a really good squad. I wouldn't mind seeing Origi, by the way.
It looks like he's off to AC Milan end of the season as well, and I have to say, Paddy, I think it's a great move for him. I think it's a very good move for Divock Origi to head over to Milan. I think Serie A will suit him, and I think he'll do well. He'll be loved by the Milan fans.
Yeah, for sure. I don't want to see the guy go. He's a great option, but it's for the best for him in his career. I love him for everything he's given to the club, and he will be heading off into the sunset with a quadruple of trophies under his belt. Well, more than a quadruple, but in this season alone. And Mick, I was thinking.
I think my front three, not to give away too much, but my front three for this game on Sunday, I would put Jota on the right, Firmino to the centre, and Diaz on the left. That's what I go. That's what I'm hoping to see. But I have a feeling we're going to get I have a feeling this game will bang about like Oxlade-Chamberlain, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah. But listen, as much as we despise him at times, he can be decent. So let's hope he decides to be decent today or tomorrow or Sunday even.
Yeah, it's for me, I think a little bit weirdly. It's not that I don't like Chamberlain. It's more I like to see players that I think have a future at the club. playing. So I'd love to see it, an Elliott or a Jones or a Bradley or a Costas or whomever. I just don't like the idea of playing. I think maybe Milner out of necessity at right back. Could be Gomez, could be Bradley. Klopp was a bit indecisive. He said maybe a young player. We've got Joe, James Milner. And look, I think the fact, Paddy, that it's going to be under the lights Sunday night at the City ground, the atmosphere will be rocking. You know, we're going to have to make sure that we get through those first 15, 20 minutes where they will come at us 100%.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for me, to be fair, I probably would prefer Conor Bradley over Joe Gomez at right back. He's a natural right back, isn't he? That's what I'd be going for. I think he's a great footballer. But Joe Gomez, I would take either or. Not Milner, though. Not Milner. Not a right back.
I agree with this as well. Absolute credit to Villarreal for the Hillsborough Justice banner that they had up. I mean, yeah, that really, they're definitely have gone up in my regard after that. I mean, yes, you've got the Alberto Moreno influence, but they're just a good club. They're very hard not to like Villarreal. You know, at the Madrigal playing in, you know, they're an underachiever. Sorry, they're an underdog of Spanish football, and their story is quite tremendous, really. And to see what Unai Emery has done again with them, he deserves all the credit in the world, mate. You go to Turin, and we both agree that Juventus team isn't the greatest Juventus team we've seen, but still to go there and win 3-0 and book yourself in the quarterfinal, that deserves respect.
Yeah, well, I tell you who doesn't respect them, and that's Valencia, because they've taken half their squad over the last couple of years, because obviously Valencia's financial trouble. I think Danny Parejo, Francis Coquelin, and there's definitely a few others there. But yeah, no, great squad. And you know what? Like, they're no pushover. Like, it's no pushover. They're no pushover. I expect them to give Bayern a good game. I don't see Bayern smashing them. And in the same vein, whoever we play, be it Bayern or Villarreal, again, I am assuming we're beating Benfica. Call the police. You know, it'll be tough. Either it's a semi-final of a Champions League and a quarter-final, so it's going to be tough. Just not against Benfica. That'll be easy.
Do you know what I can't help but think? Imagine if United hadn't shit the bed against Atleti, they could have had a Manc derby there in the quarter-final of the Champions League. Although that would have been an easy passageway through for Man City. I think they have a harder tie against Atleti than they would have against United.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, for sure, man, for sure. No, yeah. The fact that we avoid City until the final is great, though, for me.
It is. Did you see Fabio Carvalho turn down England? So he played under 17, under 18 with England, but he's just accepted a call up to Portugal's under 21s. And for those that aren't aware, that's only when the competitive caps start. So you can play underage up until 21s with any country, and it doesn't count as you're declaring. This will be the first time he declares, and it looks like he's turning his nose up and going to play for Portugal.
Wait, 21s is fine, though. He can play that without declaring, right?
No, he's declared. Once he takes this call up, that's it. If he sets foot on the pitch, yeah, that's it. He's declared.
For 21s?
Yeah.
Is that new?
No.
Really? I always thought you could play up to 21s. Like, it's when it was the senior team.
No, it's 21 in a competitive game. So if it's a Euro qualifier or a Euro championship game, it counts. If it's a friendly, it doesn't count.
Right, okay. Yeah, well, I mean, probably a good move for him, to be fair. I reckon they're both great sides, but yeah, if he stays Portuguese as well, it'll be safe from the English hype too, so we'll be able to safeguard him. And he'll still count as a homegrown player, so big up Fabio. Vamos Portugal. And
he'll get to obviously play alongside his future Liverpool teammate in Diogo Jota as well. I mean, big tie for them. I mean, I've been concentrating all week, Paddy, on our two lads facing each other in Mane and Salah in the World Cup playoffs. But Diogo and Portugal have a very tough task on their hands as well against Italy. How do you see that one going?
Wait, he's been called up to the senior squad then?
No, sorry, no. He's been called up to the under 21.
Right.
Diogo.
Right.
For the World Cup playoffs. Sorry, I'm getting a bit carried away here.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that's a tough game for Portugal. Obviously Ireland had the pleasure of playing them. And they should have probably bet them at the game in the Aviva. So I'm glad that we could scupper their hopes. Very tough game. I probably fancy Italy there, to be honest. It's a shame that both of them won't be there because the historical teams. But yeah, I mean, I want to see Diogo Jota go, but I want to see Ronaldo cry. So it's a tough one.
I think the fact that this is Ronaldo's last shot at a World Cup probably somehow tips it in their favour for me. I feel like they'll just find a way to get through somehow. But either way, one very big country is going to be missing from the World Cup. You know, you've got the defending European champions against the Nations League winners, I think I'm right, in Portugal. I don't know, that's going to be difficult. It's going to be, there's not much must-watch viewing for me in international football outside of the big tournaments, but I'd certainly tune in on holidays to this.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, 100%. That's true. You know, as much as we like to banter Ronaldo these days because he's at United again, you know, it'd be nice to see him be able to bow out properly from a major tournament. You know, so maybe if I take my Liverpool bias aside for a second, maybe I do want to see Ronaldo play at the World Cup.
Yeah, I don't believe I'm saying that either, but yeah, I kind of wouldn't mind seeing him have that last swan song. And this Portuguese group are a good group as well, so it'll take a lot of beating to knock them
Pepe.
out.
Pepe's a bastard.
And Bernardo.
Yeah, Bernardo Silva, another bastard.
And Bruno.
Yeah, another bastard. Fair.
We're making a case for the opposition here, Paddy. We're making a case to not like them. Somebody's asking for Gavi news. So I sent you no, I haven't sent you the voice note actually. Sorry, I'll send it to you. So I did reach out to a Spanish journalist about Gavi, and I did ask about Liverpool's interest. And this is kind of paraphrasing the answer I got. So they've put an offer, as in Barcelona have, to Gavi and to Araujo, but they've also drawn a line in the sand to say this is how much money we have. We can't go any higher than this. So the ball is in Gavi's court. Is it out of the realms of possibility that he could move on? No, not from what I've been told, but I've also not had any clarification of a potential offer on the way from Liverpool for Gavi, despite that 120 grand a week nonsense we'd seen spouted. So for me, I don't think it happens. I think he will find a way. And look, I'll be really honest, Paddy, I think he should stay at Barcelona right now at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this might be an unpopular opinion, but Gavi hasn't moved me today. He's not someone that I'm at home, you know, waxing lyrical for. I thought he's been okay. I think, you know, if he wasn't Spanish at Barca, I feel like the hype wouldn't be nearly as much. I think it's just wishful thinking from the Barca end, thinking he's going to be the new Xavi and Iniesta along with Pedri, who I think Pedri is a far better footballer. Gavi's decent. I'm not. Listen, I don't expect him to leave, especially not to England. So I wouldn't be paying much heed to it. I reckon he'll stay at Barca, and in a couple of years' time, he'll be warming the benches of Real Valladolid.
Another big bit of news that kind of broke during the week, and again, it hasn't been absolutely confirmed, but there's been enough media talk to say that it looks highly probable that Erling Braut Haaland will find his way to the Etihad. Have you slept much since hearing that? Because I have.
For a second there, I was able to forget that I'm viciously hungover, and now that has come back right to earth. And the idea of City at Haaland or Haaland at City fills me with dread because I know he's just going to be fantastic for them. So yeah, that's going to be great. So let's win the title while we can.
But it's also been rumored, Paddy, that the potential package, including the transfer fee, the agent fees, and the wages, is 306 million in total for wages, fees, transfer fee for that pack. Now, how can I drop 100 million on Grealish and then go and do this, and it all be just fine? You know, all be just completely legit. They're definitely making all that money. I don't get it.
Well, you see, it's because the second cousin of Sheikh Mansour will invest 57 billion from his brand new tricycle company, and that will be a very legitimate sponsorship.
Yeah, definitely legitimate. No holes there. Nothing to see here, folks. We move on. Oh God, I won't lie, Paddy. I was praying one of the Spanish teams came in and got Haaland. Just for once, I wanted the Spanish teams to come in and take a superstar, because the idea of City having that firepower up top worries me. And I don't know how we can counteract it. I really don't. Like, we can talk about maybe going to get Jude Bellingham or whatever, but that is a frightening prospect, mate. The only, I suppose, hope we may have is that he's a little bit injury prone, Haaland, perhaps.
Yeah, he is very injury prone. It's something that needs to be looked at. He's missed a lot of games for Dortmund this year, and I think it just stems from how he plays the game. He's very aggressive. He's very powerful. I know I don't wish injury on anyone. It'd be a shame for someone like Haaland not to have the career he deserves. But I think he's surefire to just like catapult City to that next level, if they can even go to a next level. I reckon that they have no problem winning the league, but I reckon that Haaland could be the difference between them winning the Champions League and not, because I know they say they haven't struggled without a striker, but I feel like they have at times. I feel like that Crystal Palace game was case in point. They had so many chances, but they just lacked that cutting edge, like number 9, to just bang one in from an acute angle. So I reckon he will really elevate them.
So here's, again, what I don't get about that potential Haaland deal. And I say potential because it hasn't been confirmed. So we don't pay anybody as much currently as Kevin De Bruyne makes at Manchester City on his new deal. And we are looking at maybe making one player as well paid as Kevin De Bruyne, and that is Mohamed Salah. Now, Grealish is on 300 grand a week after 100 million. Sterling is on, I believe, over 200 grand a week. The two clubs aren't a million miles away from each other, even with the massaged figures, shall we say. So how is it they can afford it and we can't? Something just stinks in all of this to me. It's just, and I could be just being critical of our owners here. You know, it could be that, well, maybe our owners just genuinely don't want to break the structure and can afford the payment.
I think that's what it is, to be honest with you, Craig. I feel like it's just the owners being very stringent. And, you know, they're working off a model they've kind of developed over the last number of years that they don't want to see just get pissed away in a summer of madness. So I feel like there's a lot more, you know, as much as people might not like FSG, I feel like out of the top 6, you know, we probably one of the better owners or better relationship with our owners. So yeah, I feel like it should get a difference in, like, they're just willing to pump it in. They will always have that money there, you know. And again, with as I said, those very legitimate sponsorships coming in, they just have so much more money than us.
They another couple of things as well. Today, 9 p.m. was the deadline for the bids for Chelsea, so we should probably find out the preferred bidder there soon enough as well, which will be interesting to see, because, you know, Chelsea fans we all want to know what happens with the $1.5 billion that Abramovich is owed, firstly. And then on top of that, what was the other big news today that was doing the rounds? I wanted to ask you, actually, because I asked Chris this the other night. So with Sadio Mane and Mohamed Salah having a two-legged playoff against each other for a place in the World Cup, Senegal and Egypt, is there any concerns that if, let's say, Senegal edge Egypt out again, that this could impact Mo negatively for the end of the season?
I would like to argue the opposite. I think it would spur him on, probably. Although since the AFCON final, you know, I've been vocal enough about how I've thought he's performed pretty poorly. I feel that's just down to a burnout. You know, no one can go at that level forever for a continued period of time. So hopefully he can recapture something. But no, I feel like it would spur him on, if anything, from both ends. I feel like whoever loses it will come back business as normal.
Jonathan Clugson said our fringe players probably get paid a lot more than most squads' top players. Not anymore, mate. Those days are gone. We used to pay over the odds. So the likes of Lazar Markovic and players like that came in on ridiculous money, but it's not so high these days. But look, we have been told that our wage bill is one of the highest in Europe, so I'm confused as to how it could be, you know. But again, we'll wait and see. For the Salah Mane thing, excuse me, I think it will affect him. I think it will affect him negatively. And I don't mean that from a point of view of not saying that he won't try his hardest. I believe he will. Of course, he's focused. Of course, he's fit. But two major potential negatives for a proud Egyptian, I think it would affect anybody, mate, no matter how strong your mentality is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, he's not going to be happy about it, but I feel like he's a professional athlete. He's a professional footballer. I feel like he'll be mentally strong to right the wrongs of his season. You know, and if he gets his act together, he's a Ballon d'Or to win next year. You know what I mean? So, you know, as much as I want Salah to do well, Egypt are irrelevant to me. It's all about even playing well for Liverpool from a selfish point of view.
I agree. Absolutely, I agree. But, you know, I know that one of our two boys are going to come back, unfortunately. Sad, and I don't want it to be Mo again. Although I don't want it to be Mane either, because they both are huge figureheads for the country. I've no idea what this is about. A cricket team?
Yeah, apparently Glazers were talking to some guy, and they're looking at making a Man United cricket team.
I mean, there's so much to unpack there. I mean, geez, and I don't know what to say other than if they haven't embarrassed that club enough, then they're trying to do it again. That's fucking ridiculous. Man United cricket team, my God. Yeah. So much other stuff to go through as well. Want to talk about. We spoke about Salah's. Actually, I want to speak about contracts. I want to speak about who was the other person that I'd seen. Firmino. So we spoke the other night, Paddy, about Firmino, and you were saying that you'd like to see him get more game time. You said particularly, I think you'd love to see him start the game again at the Etihad, if my memory is correct. Any concern that we haven't heard anything on any contract renewal or contract talk for Bobby Firmino?
No. No, I feel like the club are probably weighing up their options, whether they should give him one or not. For me, I love Bobby. I'm all for keeping Bobby. You know, if Bobby wants a mad wage increase, then it becomes difficult. I would love to keep him on continued terms. But yeah, he just offers something different to in the front line that other players don't. He's something different. He's a calm influence. He delicate touches. He gets into the right positions, and for me, he'll be a crucial player in that game at the Etihad. He was a crucial player at the game at Old Trafford. Yes, of course. Of course, different levels of opposition, but I just feel in those sort of games, the higher level of opposition, I feel like he's imperative.
A couple of people have said to me over the last week, if City get Haaland, they'd like to see Liverpool try and sign Harry Kane. I'm not one of those people, mate. How would you feel about that idea?
I wouldn't be against it, to be fair. I think at times we cry out for a traditional number 9 like that, and with the service of Robertson and Thiago and Van Dijk and Trent, I think we'd score a shit ton of goals.
I don't know, man. It's a difficult one. I don't know if I'd feel comfortable with Liverpool going out there and spending what would probably be close to 100 million quid on a 30-year-old Harry Kane.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of them funny ones to joke about. It would never actually happen, but I feel like if we were to go and sign him, he'd bang them in for us and catapult us to more titles. I just think he'd score a shit ton of goals.
Rafinha, by the way, out tonight for Leeds with COVID, so he's not playing in that game. I'm starting to get more concerned about the Mohamed Salah contract, Paddy, because international breaks for me always fester a bit of shithousery when players are away from their clubs, either from an agent or from we've seen former players or current teammates of our international players as well come out and say they think X and Y should go here. And what I'm almost guaranteeing you we're going to hear during this international break is some talk. Red card for Raul Jimenez, by the way, sent off in that game. Collision with the goalkeeper. Yeah, I think we're going to hear a lot of talk from the Egypt side about how Mohamed Salah isn't being respected by Liverpool. I just have a feeling that that's going to come.
Yeah, I mean, when they go away from the club to these different places, there is a danger of that. There is a danger of, third parties getting involved and looking for their bit of fame and stuff. But I think the Salah stuff will be sorted. I should hope so. And the problem is, the longer it goes on, the more we have to convince ourselves that we'll be fine without him. But I do genuinely think, God forbid he does leave, we'll be fine. We move on. No one's bigger than the club, and if he can't agree a deal, we're upset about it, but we got to move on.
Here's a question that I have absolutely no answer to, but I'm always happy to talk about a quadruple now. So how much money would it generate in terms of both prize money and merchandise? Well, prize money we can find out, certainly. I think between Champions League and if you won a Premier League, you're probably talking the guts of 200 million, I believe, in TV revenue and prize money. So a lot, but probably not so much more if we were to finish runners up on one or two of them. You get into the latter stage of the Champions League, quarters, semis, that brings a hell of a lot of money with it. So either way, the club's finances should be in a good place right now. I'm getting very, very concerned about the Salah stuff. Every single day that goes by, Paddy, I'm getting more and more nervous about it. Remy Abbas posting pictures of him and Mo having dinner. I mean, fair enough. If you're going to post something, at least that's fairly bog standard. Not too much to take from it. But what's your gut say on this one, on Mohamed Salah? Does he sign, putting aside what we want, because we can all agree we want it to happen? Do you think it happens?
Yeah, I do think it happens. There's too much will there from both parties for it not to get done. There's too much respect there. There's too much history there. I think it gets done. I think it's an extraordinary situation, but I do think it gets done, and it has to be done, and I do think it will be.
Really quickly, just want to touch on West Ham last night knocking Sevilla out of the Europa League. I mean, that's a statement win. It really is. And you know, as much as I call them morally bankrupt FC for the cat stuff and all, I have to say I was delighted for them. I was delighted for them last night, because we know only too well how difficult Sevilla are in European competition, and to beat them 2-0 on the night in extra time, that's a massive, massive achievement. And who did they draw in the quarters? West Ham. It was a decent draw.
Eintracht?
No, that was Barca, I think. Who did West Ham draw? It was Rangers got drawn against Braga. It was Barcelona against Eintracht Frankfurt.
Oh, Leon.
Oh yeah. They'll fancy that.
Yeah, yeah. Potential for the most Brexit final of all time if Rangers and West Ham both get there. That would be a Union Jack orgasm fest. Yeah, I was buzzing for West Ham. I follow a couple of West Ham fellow TikTokers, you know, Louise and this guy Jamie, and to see them revel in the enjoyment of European football was real pleasure. You know, us as Liverpool fans have had years of this, but to see a club like West Ham rise through the ashes and get their day in the sun, I was buzzing for them. No animosity towards West Ham at all.
It was rocking there as well last night. Like the fans were in early, the atmosphere was brilliant, and they put in a very good performance. And again, kind of a side note to it, but in the midst of a very, very, very difficult time for Yarmolenko, once again, mate, he popped up with is a huge winner.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. Yarmolenko, big for him. You know, obviously sad times going on in his country. I hope that's the end of Ukrainian strikers doing a madness in Europe, because obviously Yarmolenko plays for Benfica, and I don't fancy him having the game of his life against us. So we will happily wish Ukraine all the best, but hope their players stifle against us. But yeah, listen, big up West Ham. Buzzing for them. Again, they play, if they win that, they'll then go on to play Barcelona or Eintracht Frankfurt, which you'd imagine will be Barca. And West Ham versus Barca in a European semi-final will be something their fans could have only dreamed of decades ago. So, you know, big ups to West Ham.
And Rangers as well with Braga. I mean, they look at that, and again, they'll have no fear for that tie. To go away and draw 1-1 at Red Star, a difficult, hostile place to go. Their fans get right behind them as well. They had the job done pretty much from the first leg. But again, they won't be fearing Braga, and they'll be thinking to themselves, the winner of that takes on Leipzig versus
Atalanta.
That's, you probably fancy the winner of that tie to go through, actually.
Yeah. I fancy Rangers to beat Braga, but that'll be the end of it then. Whoever gets through, the other one will. You know, recent Champions League semi-finalists, both of them. Mr. Paddy Murphy needs a bucket of coffee. I need a pint. Yeah, I'd expect Rangers to go out in the semis as probably West Ham. I feel like Barca have West Ham's number, but again, West Ham could beat Barca. I would like to see West Ham go on and win it, though. I really would.
Yeah, well, it would be a lovely story for them to do it. It kind of reminds you of that time where Fulham went all the way through to the final as well. People are asking about Mohamed Salah. So, yes, it looks like he's injured, but not a new injury. It's the foot injury that still caused him a little bit of pain. Jurgen Klopp in his pre-match press conference today, or his quarter-final press conference, spoke about the fact that Trent is going to be out until, he didn't give a date, but it's believed they're aiming for the City game, and Mohamed Salah probably misses the game. I think, I don't want to give away my prediction 11, Paddy, but I'd probably leave Mane and Salah out and let them both get rested up for their international games. Have Mane on the bench just in case we need him, but I think I'd go with, as I said, Diaz, Firmino, Jota to start.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Yeah. I want to see both of them. I was calling for Salah to get rested anyway, months, weeks ago, even before the injury. So hopefully Salah can get back to his best because, I think we can admit he hasn't been at his true top form this last couple of weeks. But yeah, what you said there, I echo for sure.
So give me a prediction for the weekend for the game against Forest on Sunday.
I am going with 3-1 Liverpool.
I won't say mine because, again, I'm recording video afterwards. But look, for the last 15 minutes or so, I thought maybe we could just do a bit of a Q&A because there's no, we'll be staying on our greediness here to just talk waffle. So if you guys have any questions for Mr. Paddy Murphy or myself or at Liverpool related that you think we might be able to help out with, whack it into the chat. I'll bring them up on screen and yeah, we can go through them. We must do a few unpopular opinions, Paddy, me and you. We must record a few of them.
Oh, I have a few for you, all right, don't worry.
Yeah, it's basically other we react to people saying their unpopular opinions. What's this 5-0 stuff? Oh, us winning at Old Trafford. Sorry, I was confused for a brief second there. When you
Craig, there we go.
Oh, you and Chris were arguing about this, weren't you? Who's the bigger club, Leeds or Everton? Leeds, but just about, I think it's a difficult one. It depends on the eras, what era you're speaking. They're both historic clubs.
Awful. I'm like the number one. It's Everton all day, man. It's Everton all day. It's got to be. But listen,
I don't know. How do you measure it? What are we using as a yardstick? Because Leeds back in the day, back in the time where my uncles, let's say, would have been watching it, Leeds would have been winning a lot under Don Revie, and they're pretty successful.
I can't believe so many people say Leeds, man. Fair play, but nah.
No, what are we using to measure it? What's the trophy count? What's both fairly famous stadiums. Ellen Road, Goodison Park. I mean, much of a muchness between them.
Leeds, Everton have more major trophies. They have been better. They've at their peaks have been the better team.
Have they though? I mean, Leeds Champions League nights under David O'Leary, Harry Kewell, Rio Ferdinand, some pretty good players. Viduka at the time, they hit some heights as well before they fell down to the divisions.
I don't know, man. It's a bad one.
It is a tough one. I'll give you that. It's definitely one you can make an argument for either. Right? My gut instinct. Leeds have hit the inside of the post, and they've scored 2-1. Harrison. Ayling hit the post, coming back out. Harrison scored 2-1, and Wolves are down to 10. Don't forget. This is a big last half hour for Leeds.
If you look at total honours, this is about a year old. So total honours, well, it hasn't changed. So Everton 24, Leeds 9. There you go. Leeds or Everton have averaged an attendance of 39,000 over the last couple number of years. Leeds was about 25,000. If you look at social media followers, Everton 4.1 million, Leeds 700,000. This is about a year old again, but every metric I can find, Everton are bigger.
They're both kind of irrelevant to some extent.
Yeah, just to shout out Dermot, the Gravediggers, mate. The Gravediggers, yeah, for sure. In Phibsborough or Glasnevin, whatever.
Oh yeah, I don't operate on that side of the county, mate. I'm Southsider through and through.
Yeah, fair. I don't, mate. I actually can't believe how people are angry with my opinion on that. But it's a good debate. Glasnevin.
It is a good debate. I think it's a very,
Wheels.
very good debating point. I mean, I can't say that either opinion is ridiculous. I think there's valid points for both sides of it. Maybe I'm being a little bit skewed because I do have uncles who support Leeds. I have a couple of uncles who are Leeds fans. But I do know people often underestimate the Irish Everton following. There is quite a bit.
Yeah, my brother, one of them, the poor fucker. Well, I think that's why, as an Irish person, can skew your opinion because there's a lot of more recent Irish Leeds fans because of their good spells not so long ago. But yeah, no, I respect everyone's opinion, even if it is wrong. And we move on.
Right, here's another question. Would you take Rashford at Liverpool? I agree. I know. Not for me.
My favourite Irish dish is battered sausage and chips.
I mean, you're pushing the Irishness of that there, Patrick.
I know, yeah. Yeah. What is an Irish dish? What the? I don't even,
That's all I can think of, mate. Stew or bacon and cabbage. That's
Ireland isn't known for being culinary pioneers. We kind of just rob everyone else's, ironically.
Tell you what, though, you can't beat a bit of Irish lamb. I love a bit of lamb.
I don't. I'm weird with eating lamb. My mother loves lamb, so we don't really eat lambs in our house. She doesn't want to imagine them alive.
Oh, they've just
hit the said for cows.
Dan James is shy. Can we just put that out there? He's shy.
Bubble and squeak. Not what is
2-2.
2-2.
Rodrigo, 2-2. 25 to go.
Ooh.
Yeah, bacon and cabbage, by the way, Paddy. Can't underestimate that. If I don't mention bacon and cabbage, I'm sleeping on the sofa because my missus will absolutely kill me because she's a massive bacon and cabbage fiend. But I refuse to let cabbage be cooked in the house because it fucking stinks.
You're not going to, well, you probably will believe me. I've never had cabbage in my life.
I've never eaten it either. The smell of it's enough, mate, and the look of it to put me off.
It's cabbage and okay. I love a bit of bacon. Yeah, I can't beat a bit of bacon or boiled ham. But again, the Irishness of those are
bubbling squeak.
Irish food is very bland. Let's be honest.
I don't know, man. An Irish stew. I will walk across hot cold for a good Irish stew. I fucking love a good Irish stew.
Fair play. I wouldn't, but that might. I have the taste buds of a 12-year-old. Like, to be fair, like, so, or the palate of a 12-year-old. Sorry.
What's your go-to from the chipper?
Garlic cheese chips, battered sausage, and chicken tenders. Very good, very nice.
Is it wrong that I've got different ones depending on time of days and if I'm drunk? So if I'm drunk, it's a snack box and a battered sausage. If I'm drunk,
right.
If I'm not drunk, I'm probably just going old school and getting fish and chips.
Yeah. What is an Ulster fry, by the way? Like, I've never heard. Obviously Ulster.
I got you, Paddy. I got you. Don't worry about this. An Ulster fry will have potato farl or potato cake in it. So you'll have your rashers, your sausage, and instead of the black and white pudding, you would have a little like potato cake or potato farl, as I call it. And I'm all for it. I'm a massive potato farl fan.
No pudding.
I don't believe there's pudding in an Ulster fry. I could be wrong, but I do know that the big thing is the potato bread or the soda bread, soda or potato bread.
Ulster fry. Popular breakfast originated in Northern Ireland. This meal consists of fried bacon, sausages, black pudding, mushrooms, tomato, and eggs, served with fried soda bread and potato farls.
Boom. Sign me up for it, except you can get rid of your mushrooms and eggs and pudding and just lash beans on there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very you know yourself. It's very toaster in the cupboard sort of shit, isn't it?
Have you ever had a battered Mars bar?
No, I haven't. I'm fat enough without trying shit like that.
There's a chipper along. Do you know along the quays in Dublin? There's only one petrol station along the quays. The Statoil one, I think it is, up the top of the quays.
Oh yeah, beside the Guinness place.
Yeah, there's a chipper right beside that, like literally right beside that forecourt, and they do battered Mars bars, and it was lovely. I had one in there when I was going to Vicar Street before.
Yeah, thank you, Matthew. Appreciate that, Daddy Paddy. Lovely. Yeah, I've never, man. I'm hungry now. I'm debating going out for more pints, but I think I might just veto that and get a takeaway.
Oh my god, I'm so old. I'm thinking like you're going out for pints and I'm going to have a shower and get in my pajamas. Like that's where I am.
I'm that hungover, Craig. I need to go out and just rescue myself with a couple of pints. What's a Savoy?
Savoy is like a sausage. It's like a long sausage.
Savoy is a type of highly seasoned sausage, usually bright red, normally boiled and often available in British fish and chip shops, especially in London, Buckinghamshire, Essex, and blah, 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 blah. Just looks like a hot dog, no?
Sort of, yeah. I don't eat hot dogs and I don't eat Savoys.
You don't eat hot dogs? Missing out.
No.
I had a phase of a couple of years. You know the microwavable hot dogs, eating them to beat the band. Bang.
Oh,
Bang.
oh no! This doesn't even look like real food to me. It just
Oh, it's not. That's why it tastes so nice. It's pure processed fucking garbage.
Here's a nice one from an Egyptian Mohamed Salah fan. Khaled, how are you? Said, hi Craig, what's the episode of Mo's contract? Agree with you. I'm Egyptian and I totally admire Mo. Yeah, I believe he should stay at Liverpool and take what's on offer, not run after the money. Look, we all agree he should be compensated fairly for his talents. Absolutely. He should be our highest paid player, but I agree with Khaled there. I think he can achieve everything he wants to at our fine football club.
Agreed. What do you reckon, Craig? Take the floor.
I would swap Jota with Mane and push Firmino back one. So I'd go Salah, Jota, Mane, Firmino, Diaz. But that will change over time. Diaz is going to make his way up through that list.
There's a way of looking at it. Historically, you could look at it, but I'm going to go with right now if I'm picking a team sheet. For me, Salah, Diaz, Jota, Firmino, Mane. I'm going to get in trouble for that. I'm going to get in trouble for that.
Again, I think you can make, once you've got Salah at number one in your list, I think you can make an argument the other way around now. You know, if we're going off history, the Mane's number two without a shadow of a doubt. 100%. No,
of course. Oh, historically, it's
you have to go off form.
Yeah, historically, it's Salah, Mane, Firmino, Jota, Diaz. Obviously.
Are you a fan of black and white pudding?
Love white pudding. Black pudding can be hit and miss, but a good Denny white pudding is banging.
What about Clonakilty?
Yeah, I would go for that too. Best food for a hangover.
Now this I can speak on. So when I was growing up, I used to go to the butcher's beside me who had a deli. I always got a breakfast roll, a chunky Kit Kat, and a can of real Coke, not Diet Coke. If you're hungover, you want sugar, so get the real Coke.
Not bad. I think for me, it's always like you're raiding the deli, isn't it? The day after it. That's the problem with drinking. Yeah, not only do you spunk so much money on the drink, you feel shit. It then skews your next day because you're eating shite all day. You're no exercise or nothing. And I'm actually dying right now. I also spent like 150 quid. Oh, God. And we go at it again.
I've got a 10-day holiday to look forward to, and I will be waking up with many of those thoughts of going, oh, Jesus, much did I spend?
You drink much?
Will I don't know. I think a lot might depend if Sabrina goes on the car insurance over there or not. If she goes on the car insurance, see, I'm somebody that's very mindful of driving the day after I have a drink as well. So I'll be very careful about when I get back into the car the next day. So if Sabrina is willing to drive, I'll probably have a few drinks. Yeah, she's not a big drinker anyway. So
yeah,
plus we'll be going to the clubs as soon as we get over there. The wee clubs immediately, straight in, bing bang bosh.
It would be rude not to, Lord Craig. It would be rude not to.
We need your help. I'm trying to organise an end of season celebratory jolly up for the Anfield Agenda boys, and we need your help for a destination because, yeah, I could just pick Spain. We could go there, but I'd like us to do a couple of little meetups with some Liverpool supporters clubs or stuff like that. So any suggestions would be most welcome in the chat. Obviously in Europe somewhere. But I do want us, I can't tell you what we're going to be celebrating yet, but we are going to be celebrating, and I want to do it right, and I want to bring the lads away. So where should we go? Not Manchester. Relax now. We can go a bit warmer than Manchester.
Exciting potentials. LA would be a bit pricey now, in fairness.
Yeah, I mean,
never been to America.
Oh man, them flights, they're difficult. Like 9-10 hour flights.
Yeah, I struggle with an hour flight, man. I hate flying. Absolutely hate it.
Someone said Belfast. Good fan base. Malta is actually where my in-laws are right now. They've got a place out in Malta. Saint-Tropez, far too posh for me. At the moment, option number 1 is Murcia Alicante, because I could probably blag accommodation from a relative, because I have a couple of uncles who have houses out that way. But Paddy's dance moves Ibiza all day.
I do have good dance moves, to be fair. I would have to say.
Nothing about Connor strikes me as Ibiza, though.
No? You'd be surprised. I think he'd throw his hand to anything once. Hey, TwitchCon.
Is that where it's on?
Yeah.
See, we were offered tickets to that as well, by the way.
Offered? I didn't get offered any. Brilliant.
Yeah, we can get sorted out with tickets to TwitchCon if we want to go to it. Which we had looked. I didn't even know it was in Amsterdam, actually.
Sign me up for a few of them tickets. Apparently, you can get them as half price as a partner, but I would like free ones.
To TwitchCon? Mate, I'm fucking massive.
Yeah.
I'm not going over there. I'm not paying for no tickets. I'm a fucking celebrity. Motherfuckers better be looking for an appearance fee to show up, let alone want free tickets.
Too right, Craig. Too right. I would too if I was you.
Vegas. Oh, I'd love to go to Vegas, but there's no way me and Paddy Murphy are being let loose in Las Vegas. That is going to end badly for our wallets.
That would end horrifically after day one. We'd both be bankrupt. We'll not have been left to our name, and Connor would be subbing us.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, you would. Subbing us, bailing us out, and a few others. Turkey, now. There's a decent show. I do love
Istanbul was constant. I'm thinking Paris in and around the 28th of May would be a great time to go.
That's the week I wanted to go away. So when I see the Champions League draw, I'm thinking, well, I probably have to hang off because Liverpool be in the Champions League final.
A lot of plans in the future.
I mean, I think we all have valid passports. You have a valid passport?
No, it's fake. But I get by.
Connor has one. Chris has one. But will Chris be allowed out to play without Izzy for a few days? I mean, he's gearing up for his big holiday to Ireland. Heaven forbid we, brought him across to the continent and, showed him what being a European citizen's all about.
Yeah, to be fair, hopefully he's allowed away for a few minutes, but I'm sure Izzy will be fine with that.
I think, look, people are giving us great locations, which is fair enough, but the whole point of this is we want to meet up with people. So we want to go to meet up with a couple of supporters clubs. So do let us know. Still 2-2, by the way, in that Wolves game with 13 to go. Right, we shall say goodnight to everybody. No content live tomorrow, but I am recording my preview now. That'll be going out tomorrow. I'm shitting FPL as well. Sunday, we've got obviously the match going to be going on. We're going to do it on Twitch, the FA Cup game. So yeah, loads of content in and around Sunday. Do hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video. I was going to ask you, are you going to be on the FIFA grind? But I know you just said you're going to go to the pub, so I guess no FIFA grind.
I just came from the FIFA grind, to be fair. I saw a 3-hour stream. So yeah, grind is done, and I've earned my pints.
Well played, sir. Well played. Look, enjoy your weekend, folks. Thank you for coming in and starting your Friday evening with us. Appreciate it. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.